Hey everybody, Karen from Spirit Guides. How you doing? I'm back from vacation. I didn't go anywhere, but it was just so nice to take a break and just have full days at home, just my husband and I, just doing whatever we wanted to do, no commitments whatsoever. That's what a vacation is, right? I do love myself a staycation for sure. But thank you for hanging out with us, even though we were showing some fan favorites and some repeated episodes that maybe you have not seen in the past. So thank you so much for still hanging out, coming back today. If you're still here, we really, really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed or liked any of our videos, we would be very appreciative of that as well. So thank you for being here. And I thought I would talk a little bit about what was on my mind throughout the week. As you know, what you can do, obviously, when you take a break is also look inside, look at things from a different perspective because you have a little bit of space, right? So I was able to do that. It's really interesting because a few things prior to me taking the week off happened, and that's what I ended up thinking about. It was actually a few comments in our community here that got me thinking about things. So it's not to just pick on those comments at all, but it got me thinking about life and what's happening in the world, and I just sat on it throughout the week. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And we have 3 messages from the pendulum. So from the Lead Team Collective, the pendulum. So we have 3 messages today. One is spiritual, one is political. That tends to be what they give me. And then I did say to them, what is the best way to protect ourselves during this time? What is the best way to protect ourselves during this time? And I really legit thought that they were going to be like, save up some food or something like that. I think I was looking for that, because it's just such an awkward time, right? And awkward is really the wrong word for it, I know. It's a very, very uncertain time. And I wanted to ask them, what is one best way for us to protect ourselves? So they gave me a message for that. Okay. And what's really interesting is then the oracle decks that they chose are so lined up with each message. It just amazes me. Each one I was like, okay, I get it. Just the title, So we'll pull the oracles for those as well. The last thing I wanted to mention is one of the things we're going to try this week and probably next week and just see how it goes is we're going to run these full episodes, quote unquote episodes, with my, kind of just chatting about stuff in the beginning and then the messages. And then we're going to still do that at 2 p.m. premiere. And then in the evenings, we're going to run just the messages with the oracle, okay? In case, one, you want to hear it twice, but you don't want to listen to my entire, my little talk in the beginning. Or if you don't want to hear my little talk in the beginning, you just want to hear the message for the day, you might be able to just pick that up in the evening, okay? So we'll see how it goes. And yeah, let us know if you like that, okay? Okay, well, really the thing I was thinking about throughout the week, and I'm going to try to, this really was not negative at all, but it was more processing how to trust again. Okay, how to trust again, who to trust. Because it's become very evident to me, as I'm sure it has to you, with the shenanigans and it's way more than just shenanigans. What feels like things have been going on for a very long time that we were unaware of. And now that we're becoming aware of them, it feels like, who can you trust? Has it always been a scam? Are we going to be scammed going forward? And I'm just talking like fraud and stealing and never really telling us the truth and the propaganda and all that kind of stuff, okay? And the more little stories that come out, and I'm going to give you some examples, but the more stories that come out, and then when stories come out, you have these mixed feelings and mixed opinions. I'm going to share what that is in a moment. One example of that. Even from people you trust. So, and it's not even trust, people that you love, people in your life, people in the community here who have very different ways of perceiving different things. So then you start to question everything. Is anyone here just questioning everything? And the questioning of everything, I think, is a very spiritual process, but it can leave you feeling like there is no earth to stand on, like there's no solid ground, right? Which may be the point of our time on earth right now. I'm not sure. I'm just, saying this is where I'm kind of coming from right now. And you let me know how you're feeling. Some of you may be feeling like you're standing on very solid ground right now, which is awesome. I'm not feeling like I'm standing on any solid ground, but I'm not anxious about it. I'm a little anxious about it, but I'm not overly anxious about it. I'm just like kind of in awe that this is something that we're going through, or I'm going through right now. I'm just kind of like, wow, this is different. This is really different. So it's interesting because I did see the few examples. Okay, I did see a comment. I watch a few people on finances. Okay, so the economy, and that's okay. So you have economy, right? You have very mixed ideas about what's going on with the economy. If you're depends on who you're watching. Okay. And if you watch people with different opinions, then it doesn't feel like we have solid ground. Okay. Which I do think we need to watch people with different opinions. I think we need to try to hear the whole picture. Okay. But that's where obviously this gets very confusing. I would say the economy, I would say our health, I would say the food system, like the health system's got me all like, okay, what's really the truth here? The food system's got me like, what's really the truth here? The government, obviously, the people who we thought, I thought I could trust, and there are people we can trust, but I'm sure there are, but you know what I mean. So there's just so much, and so many things that can have a very big impact on each of us individually and us as a society, right? So I was watching an economic video, and I like to go into the comments to see what are people saying. I usually don't comment myself just because I just go into the comments real briefly to see where are people leaning when there's a particular idea that's been presented. Okay. And this one person did say in the comments, and I did comment back, and the person said in the comments, well, there's nobody we can trust anymore. Like, you don't know what to trust anymore. Everything's a scam. Everything is fraud. And, that's a really hard place to be living in, right? So the only comment I said, because it's gotten me thinking about it in my own life, because I feel the same way right now. I don't know what's true. So the thing I've been pondering is what's true is what's right in front of me. Okay. So what's true is my relationship with the people that are literally physically in front of me. Okay. Like, I am going out for coffee with a friend this afternoon. That will be a true experience. right? I can stand on solid ground when I am with her. Okay. And I think that is part of the spiritual process. Isn't that kind of what what we're challenged to think about in spirituality on the spiritual journey is, and I've been talking about this for weeks and weeks and weeks in terms of self-care and what's caring about what's right in front of you. Because, and then, okay, so then, if you saw, we did help a person help a person not drown. Well, she did drown actually, in a pool, in our pool. We just happened to be there when this happened last Monday. I did a separate video on that. If you want to see it and you haven't seen it, I'll post it at the end of this video here. Okay. So about 3 or 4 times, obviously my husband and I, he was there too. So we processed it throughout the week. Every once in a while we would just say something about it, and 3 or 4 times I found myself saying to him, the first time was the first time we went back down to the pool. And I did say, well, here's the thing about what's going on in the world today, that the person who was drowning in our pool needed our help and we helped. We took care of it. But there are other people drowning in other pools, and that is not our responsibility to help them because we can't help them. We are not physically there to help them. But because that was right in front of us, we of course helped her. Okay. And to me, that is it's kind of an analogy I've been using all week. And I just think it's really interesting. The pool analogy. Because we helped her with it. Boom. There was no doubt in our minds that we just jumped into action. There was no doubt. She literally was under the water for 15 seconds. Boom. And she was under the water. She was like doing one of those, now that I think about it, because I'm the one who got over her in the pool. Like I was standing outside and I looked down, and you know how in the movies when they show somebody floating but not breathing in a pool, and they're just like their hair is going out like this and they're just sitting there? That's exactly what she looked like. It was really weird. So, now that I think back on it, I'm like, that's exactly what she looked like. But so isn't that kind of an interesting analogy that there are other people drowning in pools, but because we're not there, we can't help them, but I can help her. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. So I said that in the comments to this person who said, I don't know who to trust. And I just said, trust the people who are in front of you. Focus on the people who are in front of you, And the last thing I want to say is I've been reading this. So this is by Kathy O'Brien. Okay. And I was talking about her before I left. And so now I understand a little bit more about MK Ultra, but so she was in that experience for the first 30 years of her life. And this is it's just really an interesting read. I'm not even that far in. I'm like page 69. I literally read like 2 pages a night and I'm sleeping, falling asleep. But I think tomorrow I'll actually talk in a little bit more detail about this because it's kind of fascinating. But the one thing that has struck me before I left, I told you there were a few comments before I left for my break, was that one person, when I was talking about her, and this is okay if you said this, like if this is about you and you said this, there maybe have been other people. So I'm not pointing out any one person in particular because I don't even know who you are. I don't remember your name or anything like that. Okay. There might have been multiple people who said the same thing. I'm not sure. Okay. But this stuck in my head this week and just helped me ponder some things about what's truth and what isn't truth, okay? And it was a lesson for me, and just a little lesson I want to share with you, so somebody had said right away, Kathy O'Brien is a conspiracy theorist, okay? So completely dismissing what she shares in this massive book that has like size 10 print. So there is a lot in here. I mean, this is a massive book. It's like 400 pages long. And she has another book called Trance. So what I've been thinking, I don't know if she's a conspiracy theorist, but my thing I've been processing about that, the conspiracy theorist thing, is the question I have, if you're going to say that about anything, if you're going to say, oh, they're a conspiracy theorist or they're a conspiracy theorist, have you read this book? Have you read this book? Because if you're just reading what's on Wikipedia, anything could be written on Wikipedia. Okay, when it does say that she's a conspiracy theorist. So it is that comment alone helped me process how quickly I judge people and how I don't want to judge people that quickly and assume that we know things. So if you read this book and you still say she's a conspiracy theorist, I mean, I personally would find that very hard to believe, that if you read this book, that you would say that. So again, I don't have any proof that she's not, and that's where you have to just rely on your own critical thinking skills and whether it's important or not. I mean, it's an interesting story. Of course it's important, but because she is saying it as truth. But I find it and this was written in 1995. 1995, the first came out of this, the first book. Okay. But again, I'm going to go into a little bit of what she talks about tomorrow because it does have to do with our government. It's very interesting. So those are my thoughts for today. Okay. So let's go ahead and let me know what you think about all that. It's just stuff that I've been thinking about. And I do think this is all part of the spiritual process. I really do. So I think there's no better time for spiritual growth than all the things that they're throwing at us right now. So, okay, so let's go ahead and see what messages they have for us today. Okay. All right. So again, this is the Lead Team Collective and using the pendulum. And we have 3 messages. The first one, this is interesting. So I am going to think about this for myself because, so this is the first message. Why are you Karen with people? Using my name again. They're using my name again. Why are you Karen with people? So I did ask them, like, do you mean like the way that humans are using the word Karen, the name Karen? Do you mean something like, being a bitch, not even that, but being a white, white privileged, racist, not only, and not only that, I don't even think I asked them racist. I think it's more, okay, how I'm interpreting it. Now you can interpret it however you want. Okay. Did I just pause? That was weird. We have a storm going on, so I don't know if there's going to be little hiccups in the video today. How I interpret it is because I have been like really comfortable being on my own right now and just like not really wanting to interact with a lot of people just because I'm so relaxed and not wanting to have to process other people's stuff, and it's an energy thing too, And so I think it's more like, why are you like distancing yourself from people? For me, that's how I interpreted this for me. But all of us, like you actually might be being a bitch to people or a jerk or an a-hole because it's not, this isn't just about women, right? This is any of us. Why are you Karen with people? Okay, so they wanted me to use, which I thought was interesting, Healing Spirits Oracle. Okay, so let's do the Healing Spirits Oracle real quick and see what other messages they have about why are you Karen with people? Why are you Karen with people? Okay, so I close my aura to all. Whoops. Oh, that one just flew out. I'll still say the prayer. I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the Lead Team Collective, and only those of the highest and purest light. and ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, our community, the Lead Team Collective, so it is only of the highest and purest light. Amen. I did do the Law of Challenge this morning, so we're all good there because I hadn't really talked to them this week. I just kind of took a break completely. Okay, I did talk to them once. I think I had some questions, but okay, so Lead Team, hello. Hello, good morning. I've already talked to them today, so is this the message you wanted us to have, the card that flew out? Yes. Okay. So this will tell us about what you mean about why are you caring with people? Yes. Okay. Are there any other cards you want me to pull? No. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh. Okay. You have the power to make yourself better. Oh, it's a 3 card. Of course it is. You have the power to make yourself better. All right, why are you caring with people? It's funny how they use my name. Okay, the healing power of the spirit world will always be there for you when you make the effort to heal your own body, mind, or life. You might not be aware of it, but the moment you try to fix what is broken in your life, healing spirits will pour out their power. Wow. Their pure compassion to get you back to full strength and health. Spirit healers are working with you right now because they know how important it is for you to get back to being the best you can be. Remember, the power of love is what connects you to spirit helpers and healers, and they are reminding you just how strong love is when it comes to the medicine you require. So some of us could be thinking that this actually has to do with your relationship with your guides. Why are you caring with people? Now they could have said, why are you caring with spirits? But they didn't. So, that's really interesting. How are you interpreting this? So I love the idea. I've never really thought about that the minute you try to fix yourself, the minute you're working on something, part of your health, part of your whatever you're doing, is to call on your healing spirits. Spirit healers is what they're saying in this book, spirit healers. And again, this is the Healing Spirits Oracle. Okay, let me know what you got out of that. I'm going to take some notes on that myself. That was a good one. All right, so here is the political message. It's not going to surprise you, but it actually is encouraging that this is still going on. It's still happening. They said Trump will hide. Trump will hide. I did ask whether it's still Saudi Arabia, and they said yes. So Trump will hide. Okay. Then, of course, the deck they wanted me to use, which again is fascinating to me. This is the card they dropped, is Cosmic Timing. Now, we did this last month and the month before. you know how it goes. And they did say in July. This is so weird because they did give us this exact message. I had to go back to the notes, but I just remember. I don't even need to. I don't know what day it is, but they gave us this exact message in June with this exact deck they wanted me to use. And it dropped the card July. So now it is not July anymore. Or did they drop the card August? Let's see. I see the one on the 16th, July 16th. Trump is going soon. And I said where? They said Saudi Arabia. I didn't ask though. But I know there was another one. I could have swore. I'll have to go back to my notes. But I know there was. Oh, yeah. There it is. June 26th. Nighttime next month. Nighttime next month. July. That was the card was pulled. And I said, what? And they said, Trump goes to another land. Trump goes to another land. So that was July. Okay, so obviously we're in August now. August 10th. Okay, so I know I did see a comment this week. I was checking in every once in a while. I did see a comment, and yes, I did watch YouTube. I think in my I'm taking a break. I'm not watching YouTube. I did not go on to ground news though. I did take a break. I mean, I every once in a while we watch YouTube, but um, what was I gonna say? I got distracted. I forgot what I was gonna say. It'll come back to me. Okay, so Trump goes to another land. Oh, I did see a person leave a comment about wanting to discuss timelines, and I thought that's a really good idea. I don't know enough about it, but we are looking for different experts to bring into the spirit circle, which is the membership. And that I'm going to add that timelines to the list. I have somebody do a talk on timelines. If you're interested, let us know, okay? If that's you, if you are an expert on understanding energy and timelines and all that kind of stuff. Okay, let me see which card they want me to use. Okay, so you guys, did I pull the right card for this? So Trump will hide? Yes, okay. Which card do you want me to use? The one on the right? No, the one on the left? Yes, that was the first one that came out. Okay, so the one on the right was next full moon, but that's not the one they wanted me to use. This one is, in March. What? I really would have preferred it said in September. It says in March. Okay, let's just ask. Well, that's depressing. I don't want people to be depressed when they leave here. Okay, so you guys, the card says in March. Are you saying Trump will hide in March of 2026? Yes. It's going to take that long for him to go hiding? Maybe, are you just, okay, so here's a question. Are you telling us that so that we let go of the timing? Yes. Okay. Are you, okay, well, you don't have to talk about it then. I mean, they gave us the message Trump will hide. Okay. Are you wanting us to keep the faith that that's going to happen? Yes. And are you wanting us to let go of the timing? Yes. Is our energy focus on the timing kind of making it more complicated for the universe? Let's just say yes. Okay. So by you saying March 2026 will help us kind of release. That's just kind of what I was picking up, you guys. Yes. Okay. Let me know what you think. Will it actually be sooner than March 2026 in reality? Yes. Okay. All right. So it is really about us letting go. So that's kind of interesting. Let me know how you interpret that, though. That was the first thing that came to my mind. And since we're learning how to trust our intuition as being messages from our guides, I'm not saying it is a message from my guide. I don't have the clairs, although I am sensing that it's starting to get a little stronger. Like I said, this didn't happen today. Before I left for my little break, when I was doing these, for some reason, there was 3 times where I would actually get the message in my head and then they would spell it out. That's never happened before. And I know it wasn't like my energy putting the message down. Like it just was different. I don't know how to explain it, but okay, here's the last message about best way to protect ourselves during this time. Leave it to God. Oh, that was a good one. Leave it to God. And then the cards that they wanted me to use was intuitive whispers. So leave it to God. And immediately when I saw this, I thought, oh, each of us, if we each leave it to God and listen to our own intuitive whispers, listen to your own intuitive whispers, not others. So I give you my interpretation of the cards for me, but it's important about how you interpret it. It doesn't mean that's for everybody. It's not at all. We are all going to interpret these differently. And that's the whole idea. I don't want you interpreting the cards the way I interpret them. I'm just giving you one idea, okay, of what they mean to me if I get it right away. I don't always get it right away. So, yeah, so listening to your own intuitive whispers about how to protect yourself during this time, whether you need to or not, listen to your own intuitive whispers, okay? And you get ideas from people of what they're doing, but trust your guidance. Ask for your guidance. As always, ask your guides to help you heal your fear-based thoughts. And trust me, if you do that, they will. Like all of a sudden you'll start feeling like much more calm about things. So anytime you start, I'm using that as a regular practice right now. Anytime I start feeling uptight about something, or I get some information that's really unsettling, I will say, oh, help me heal these fear-based thoughts. And within an hour, I'm like, cool, you know? So it's kind of interesting. Okay, so what message do you guys have for us about leave it to God in terms of the intuitive whispers? Intuitive whispers. I love how the messages, the oracles matched the messages. Yeah, it's very cool. Okay, and if for those of you who are new, I've got about 65 decks now. Someone had just sent me another one. I added it to my deck. Whoops. And oh boy, we got quite a few here. I got 3. Let me see which one. And so I've got them all written down here. And so I shuffle these and then they drop them just like they drop the cards, the oracle cards. So and then I ask them like, is this the one they wanted me to use? And so, okay. So which card, did I get the card you wanted us to read? Yes. Do you want me to read the one on the right? Yes. The one in the middle? No. The one on the left? No. Okay. All right. So again, this is about leave it to God. Oh, yeah. Let go of control. Again, I only can control helping that person in the pool that I'm sitting in front of. There was only 3 of us. Well, there was actually 5 of us. Other people, there's 6 people at the pool. There was 5 of us that helped her. Okay, really 3 that took action. Like the other 2 were just assisting. You know what I mean? But that's it. That's the only control we had. I don't have control of people drowning. And yeah, it feels awful and it feels scary and it feels sad, but I don't have control over it. Let go of control. What an amazing message. Okay, so, and that's anything you're feeling like you have to control. We're all, Lucy's taking a stance. There must be a bird on the balcony. She ran up and she's staring at the balcony. Okay, let go of control. If you have picked this card, chances are you are holding on to control in a certain area of your life. So think about your life right now and what are you holding on to? What are you trying to control in your mind? You know, even like stuff with the government. It's like, I can't control any of that stuff. I mean, I can be aware of some things and write some letters and, but we really can't control too much of it. We usually do this because we think we are protecting ourselves or fear what might happen if we let go. We usually try to control things because we think we are protecting ourselves or fear what might happen if we let go. What might happen. So if you're feeling like, well, if I stop watching what's going on in the government, I fear what's going to happen if I'm not paying attention, right? And so that's something to think about. But this is your chance to be brave and release control. Often it is the false delusion that we have control in the first place that stops us from moving forward. You may be limiting yourself by staying stuck in familiar territory rather than releasing into the unlimited unknown. Be brave enough to jump in, let go. What if just the other side of control is freedom? Wow, very cool. And again, leave it to God. Leave it to God. This was a very fun time back for me. I really appreciate you guys being here and hanging out and listening to and exploring these spiritual messages together. I'd love to hear what you think. Again, if this was helpful for you, if you could give us a thumbs up on the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.